see you again, Guardian. I hear your fire team put on a hell of a show. That's the kind of ferocity I like to see in every Vanguard operation. Well done.
Devrim here, subbing for Cade. Righto. The Legion nicked the secure channel you Guardians use for your patrols. Naturally, Cade didn't leave any kind of instructions, so I suggest you wrap up a few Cabal for the intel. To all Guardians by the Cabal base, there's an ether catch headed your way.
I think we've narrowed in on that frequency.
Brilliant. Thin out the ground troops a bit. You won't want anyone following you when you go in to reclaim our channel. Right. Have a quick peek around. You want things quiet before you pop into that Legion base.
Yes? Are you all doing Cade's chores?
We are. Care to pitch in?
No thanks. In fact, something just came up. I'm gonna hop off. Good luck.
Lovely. Let's keep moving. You're looking for a high-ranking Legion commander.
This is Commander Zavala. Who's on this channel?
Devrim K, sir, and our favorite Guardian.
Ah, is this the patrol setup? Do you mind if I listen in?
Be my guest.
Excellent. There should be a terminal nearby. Input the key and we'll... Oh, I'm sorry, Devrim. I should have let you handle this.
No. Go ahead.
Access codes are in. I'm transferring broadcast permissions back to our patrol system.
Yes, we see it coming online now.
The field beacons still need to be reactivated.
Indeed. Make your way outside, if you please. You're looking for a patrol beacon. They're fiddly little batons jammed into the ground. Well done. If you're keen to run more support missions, keep your eyes peeled for patrol beacons. I'm watching the rest of the network come online now, all across the system. You should be able to pick up patrols on any planet.
Who among us does not love infrastructure?
Indeed. Oh, and give my regards to Cade when you see him, won't you?
You've returned. You look as though new enemies thought to challenge you. Instead, they became fuel for the flame that burns within you. Good.
Well, it's been fun, but this place is only big enough for one dashing hero type, and that's me, so... Yeah, you have to leave. I'm just playing with you. Don't worry. But seriously, you do have to leave. Every week, I'm going to send you off wherever we're seeing the most enemy activity, and you, my friend, are going to help shut it down. Big Blue calls it Continuous Tactical Adjustment to our defensive line, CTATODL. Personally, I prefer flashpoints. Way catchier than total. So, pack your bags, clear out your loot closet. It's going to be great.
This forest again. Well, I can't say our last visit wasn't memorable. Let's see what we can find. Whoa! Knock, knock? Gotta love the ambiance. Hey, do you see that? Over there, the light.
Some of the greatest titans have defined the charge. Lord Shex, Saint 14, Wei Ning.
When my ghost found me, when I was reborn as a Titan. She found me in a desert. I had died far from civilization, far from anything I could have possibly used to defend myself. I had the armor she made me, flimsy as it was, and 1,000 miles to walk to get to what she said was my new home. Of course, we ran into problems.
Heads up, fallen. I think these light projections might be lessons.
I hear the roar before I see him, but when I look up, I can make out a blue burst against the skyline. When he falls, he brings the sky with him. He scatters me and my squad to the wind, leaves us dead as the moment our ghosts found us. They bring us back, and he helps us up. Then, he says one thing. He said, "Tell me what you've learned."
Another shard of the Traveler. But we're not alone. This shard called us here. I'm sure of it. The shard gave us a gift. Let's use it. picking up Fallen radio chatter. They're calling reinforcements. I think we aced it. I'm sure the Traveler called us to the forest deliberately. It's amazing that even a corrupted shard can still do so much good.
Ah, thanks for checking in, you two. We've had our fill of Red Legion patrols and Fallen raids. We could use a spot of help with both.
See if you can track down a Fallen comms terminal. Dev's got an idea that's crazy enough to work.
It's difficult for the young to recognize the wisdom of experience.
I've got enough for a pretty convincing Fallen impression.
Don't mention accents around Dev unless you want a day-long lecture about city dialects. Meantime, best sightline to Red Legion air support is the cliffside where you and I set up that refugee beacon.
No one appreciates the finer things anymore.
I can't believe we have to go back into the mines again.
Chin up, you two. Good news, you'll be able to use a Fallen teleporter to reach the top. Bad news, they've wired the place to explode. So,
if I run a deep scan of the tunnels, we can borrow all these traps and explosives.
and put them to good use sowing chaos between your enemies. A lovely idea.
Got it. Now I can transmit these horribly dangerous explosives wherever we need. Great work. Broadcasting the message now. I decided to go with a House of Devils accent. Remember them?
Oh boy.
Ah, House of Devils, eh? You know the most interesting thing about their pronunciation?
Actually, Devrim, let's keep the channel clear. You know, to make sure there's no interference during the transmat.
A lot of big red ships headed your way. Whatever you said, it got their attention.
I used a pretty nasty word to describe Gaul. I don't want to repeat it here.
I do so love unconventional warfare. I'd be on the lookout for drop pods if I were you. I could hear the explosions all the way back here. I bet it was quite a show.
Which means the Fallen and Red Legion heard it too. We'll let them shoot at each other for a while, and clean up whatever's left. Great work. Hey Zavala, guess who pinged our beacon near that Fallen Pike gang?
Fallen? All we see around here are Cabal.
The Red Legion must have strengthened their defenses against mobile assault.
Tell you what, those Pikers can wait. Take out the Legion first. I bet they won't expect you to do it with their vehicles.
These vehicles aren't as maneuverable as a Sparrow, but they pack a punch.
Keep punching. You have a golden opportunity to put the Red Legion down for the count.
Remind me never to get into a boxing match with a Titan. You all are scary. But as much as I hate to agree with him, Zavala's right. Vehicular mayhem now. Pike gang, later.
That Fallen Pike gang is still a threat.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Let's not make this a habit, huh?
We'll see. Be careful out there. Those pikes were rebuilt with scavenged technology. They may be unpredictable opponents.
That'll teach the Fallen to not mess with us.
Don't let your guard down. The gang's leader will be close.
Not for long.
Picking up a big spike in Fallen chatter. They sound pretty pissed.
I think we can handle whatever they throw at us.
They've deployed a walker to your position.
Huh. Whew. One Fallen walker sent back to the scrap heap.
You've earned a break.
and a victory like this will ensure a respite for us as well. Excellent work.
Yellow. Kate speaking. Oh, hang on. Someone left a note here. EDZ Forest taken energy, question mark. Red Legion, Brian. Who's Brian?
Red Legion Scions. Guardian, we've heard disturbing reports from your area. They tell of Cabal with new powers.
That sounds ominous. We'll keep an eye out for any unusual psionic energy nearby. Red Legion Scions are bad enough, but if they really have Taken powers...
Since when did Cabal and Taken start sharing toys anyway?
We can figure out the connection later. For now, we must uncover the source of this energy.
That Scion, is it shielding that Centurion?
Shielding? Then they are harnessing the energy of the Taken. But how?
No good. Taken energy readings are increasing. That it's spreading to Scions all over the area.
If that's true, it could bring a plague of shadow beyond our imagining.
Ikora, you're freaking them out.
Got it. I pulled location data from that Centurion. But we have to go into the forest.
You sure about that, buddy? Don't want to get, eaten by a creepy Taken shadow tree.
Cade, what exactly happened to you on Nessus?
They get eaten yet?
No, they did not get eaten yet. But use caution. We don't know what's waiting in that forest.
My glimmers on something big and Taken.
That may be the safest bet you've made in years.
That portal connects to the forest. The Scions found a way to force it open.
Well, it was nice knowing.
Cade.
Did you see that? He got stunned when we took out his Scion.
Severing their bond must cause a backlash to the host. Interesting.
Am I the only one who has no idea what any of you are talking about?
Yes.
Okay, there are a lot more Cabal than I was expecting.
Well, they may not like you trespassing in their secret magic fort.
Big Taken. Taken Cabal. Big Taken Cabal.
A Colossus. Of course. You must destroy it.
Working on it. Whew. We did it. They're all gone.
Well, that'll set the Legion back a ways. Serves them right for messing with things they don't understand.
Which is your area of expertise, after all. As for you, Guardian, well done. If that brute had gotten loose with the Scions, there may have been no stopping it.
And then I couldn't have collected on that bat. Big and Taken. Told you.
Ah, Assistant. You are just in time to join my Dimensional Anomaly Research Group.
Captain, hello. Azure Mirror says that I will provide the computational support, and you will provide the brute force. He is very rude.
Let us begin with barbaric close combat against the Taken. It is a scientifically sound proposition and is in no way suspicious.
This much Taken radiation can't be healthy.
Nonsense. There is no continuing danger from exposure to Taken radiation.
Incorrect, Azure Mirror. I will now list all 14 permanent debilitating effects from long-term contact with extra-dimensional matter.
Yeah, no need for that. Assistant, continue the experiment. Make your way to the Red Legion's research facility.
We're almost to the research base, so we just walk around, but in a Taken-y way.
The Taken will think you're one of them and flood into the European dead zone. Azure Mirror said it would be like a plague, and a scourge.
That outcome is only guaranteed if we do not destroy the Blights. Do not overload the test subject with extraneous data.
Test subject? Something feels different. I think it's working.
They're gonna get taken.
Excellent!
He means that you have performed the correct actions. The Taken will now flood into the surrounding area like a scourge.
And therefore, the experiment has progressed. Destroy the Blights immediately.
Now the Taken and Cabal fight until everyone's dead. Cool.
That did it. All the Blights are gone.
Except for the ones all across the solar system, That will continue to happen for eternity. Or at least until the sun burns out.
That has not been scientifically proven. But otherwise, well done, research group. The Red Legion has shown a measurable vulnerability to concentrated entropy. Definitely worthy of further study.
Ah, it's you. Ikora will be pleased.
Guardian, I need you to test a theory. Find a power core in a disabled Red Legion tank. Install it in a supply console, and stand back.
Well, that was as good as advertised.
The Red Legion has brought a new weapon online. One powerful enough to threaten the farm and everything around it.
While you're in transit, I'll try and fill in the gaps. Back in the city militia, we used to see the Fallen try to repurpose technology from other races, and fail rather explosively.
Conversations with Devrim surfaced a memory from my studies. The Cabal are made up of many different races. They have always struggled to adapt to a single technology.
I'm not sure I understand.
That new weapon is an artillery cannon, too big for you to blow up. But you could exploit that weakness.
The thing with the power cores. Sold. We never seem to be finished with this base. Where do we start?
From what we've observed, the munition power cores are only exposed during recurring maintenance windows.
Then I suggest you force a maintenance window.